At times I just feel like a complete notes that I've been doing vocally, not a road. And I'm basically gonna do it, and I pop in the MLB The Show 15 game. If I go my pitching career series on, for obvious reasons, they are not coming out with a game in March for whatever. Released a game released on two formats, that is Xbox as well as PS4 and PS5, and well, for Xbox apparently, and PlayStation. However, everything has been such, I guess, put on delay that it's not going to come out until April 20, which is, season already started. And I kind of wanted to do something where as you go into the season, kind of like, for example, I'll pitch on opening day, then opening day of the actual major leagues would be on. In this case, we're not going to get that because obviously the game comes out on the 20th of April. And that's, unfortunate. Anyway, I'm going to continue on doing this. And I'm going to continue to do close out a game, and then that's it. The other thing I want to try to do is that I just now noticed that I did not notice. There was oh man, what was it? Was it Livingston? Or man, I forgot. There was there's characters in the game. And so, I mess around with those downloadable characters and everything. And if you're at a pitching role,
is on now to try to close things down here in the ninth.
If you're at a pitching role, in a pitcher position, however, your ratings as a hitter is kind of like more than mediocre. It's really, really good. The game is actually starting to register you now as if you're available to hit or kind of be in the lineup as a left fielder or something like that. The game would actually acknowledge it. And I never even knew that was an option that was available. And so now even though I'm playing as a closing, man, you had me in there. There was already 2 outs. Even though I'm playing as a pitcher, I'm kind of messing and adding my attributes closer to my hitting, simply because, as soon as I think about 2017, my attributes should naturally start to grow from there, and my hitting attributes should be through the roof by then, And so I'm definitely going to try to increase the attributes first for hitting. And so by the time I get to 17, my attributes should be high enough to be considered
and as we wrap
acceptable.
Up here, what do you say we name this guy right
that's
here
it,
as the recipient of our top player of the game award?
Yeah, you see a couple of hits for him in the ball game. This one was tight throughout, but in the end, he really helped lead his guys to this victory.
Yeah, I would have to do it manually, I guess. Yeah, that's basically how I do the episodes. I basically do it by series. So as long as the series goes, that's how long the episode lasts. Basically, that's what I base it on. Let me do something real quick. I'm hoping my microphone's on, because I know I switched it on, but you might hear like a slight echo in the background. But I just gotta make sure it's on, because I've spoken so much. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yep, I hear myself. The music is actually playing. I didn't even know that. I thought the music naturally turned off. So like, for example, like I have the WWE game, whenever I do an entrance and I'm live streaming on that or something, the music doesn't go through the video stream for whatever reason. I don't know why. It just doesn't do it. It's kind of crazy. It's weird. I wish it did. I really did, because I remember I was doing this on Facebook. I was uploading the video clips on Facebook, and it just the music wasn't there. I don't know why. It wasn't even functioning. All right, here we go. Splitters. Definitely a save opportunity. I think. Wait,
target here, and he hits it for strike one.
How big was that run they just scored in the top of the ninth? Now,
yeah, these are my core pitches when I was pitching. Splitter, splitter. I had 2 different grips on every single pitch I did, so instead of me having like 4 or 5 pitches, in a sense I had like 10. You know? Can you imagine? You're able to kind of consistently throw each pitch from different types of, with different grips. That's an ultimate pitcher right there. That is the ultimate pitcher right there. If you're able to, I don't know, like, but I guess basically by arm angle, or not arm angle. Arm angle will kind of mess you up actually. But just by release points, different types of grips and stuff. If you were able to throw the same pitch with 2 or 3 different grips, you would have 2 or 3 different types of movement. And if you were to translate that into each and every one of your pitches, you're kind of going to the mound with a 6, 7, maybe even close to a 10-pitch repertoire. That's ridiculous. It's probably not even fair. You know,
tried to shoot the corner and he missed it.
I hope that it you know, MLB kind of allows an option for that, like, oh, you can throw knuckleballs and slurves and eephus pitches, you know, or if you pick a curveball, you're able to choose multiple breaking points or something like that. Like, you wanted to go 12-6, 1-7, what do you want here?
Number 79 will dig in now.
Okay, you want a slider, you want 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock,
and this is fouled back,
or do you want a 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock? 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. We had a guy on our team, I remember, that threw, when he would drop down sidearm, it would, like, it's not even an exaggeration. I swear to God, it went 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. There was no ifs or buts about it. And it made it such an impact to each and every hitter that hitters, if you would throw a straight fastball down the middle, hitters would think that this got to be the sliding fastball, or the slider that's going to be breaking outside, and it would just go right down the middle, and it'd just be like, oh man. Or there'll be a pitch that he throws, and the guy would just swing at it while the ball hit them, thinking that the ball was going to probably slide back over the plate. That's how good he was. But there was a guy there one time from the Mexican League, you know, from Mexico, and you know, I think he showed up for 3 games and watched them pitch, and he was like, I gotta get this guy. And he was, man, like he was going to get $40,000 a year annually, which is what pretty much the average American makes. And then the fact that he's going to be pitching in Mexico, I don't think the prices for stuff is that high. I mean, if you're making $40,000 a year in Mexico, you're kind of almost living like what a firefighter or doctor makes over here in the United States and stuff, you know. I don't know too much about how the currency works over there in Mexico, but I know it's a lot less. I know if you go over there with, you know, I think it's 500 translates to 900 or something. I think it's something like that. But yeah, it's you know, it was pretty cool. You know, he got signed and everything, and they, you know, hey, we'll give you this much, and then that's it. And he wasn't a guy that really was concerned about money, you know. He didn't give a shit. As long as he had a roof over his head. And to be honest with you, I think from what I heard, he lived I think, just outside of Texas. But he lived close to the Mexican border, so he was able to kind of drive to Mexico from where he had to drive to for baseball, you know, practices and stuff like that. I mean, if he had to do like a travel game, like he had to travel all the, you know, obviously they, you know, stood at places, hotels and stuff like that. But like any of the games where it's like a home game or whatnot, he didn't mind, you know, doing traveling all that much. I think equivalent to when I drive out to Morris, Illinois, that's pretty much, well, maybe that's a little bit of a, not really exaggerated close. I think if I was to drive to Springfield, Illinois, basically, you know, I live in Chicago. If I was to drive to Springfield, that's basically the amount of time it'll take, you know, for him to get to where he's got to get to, you know. So
right-hander against right-hander.
I'm sure right about now he's retired. He's probably relaxing, you know. At the time he was older than me, so I'm definitely sure he's probably retired.
Swinging a hard ground ball to third. Oh, look at this.
He didn't have a strong arm particularly. I think on his best days he would throw about 88, 89.
Marcus Efting will try again. 2 for 4
all of
in
his
the
other
ball game.
all of his other pitches were kind of like in the 70s, 60s. His changeup was like pretty damn slow, but it was slow enough for you to kind of be fooled on it, you know? And so, and again, I think he had like 2 different types of changeup works. You know, rather than 3/4 quarters, or if he threw it kind of sidearm, it just would break differently.
Not a bad pitch there with 2 strikes,
you know, he was a pretty cool guy. I liked him a lot. He had the classic mullet look with the mustache. But unfortunately, when he left, we had no pitchers. We had nobody. He was the only guy that can kind of give us 6, 7 innings. And after he left, we didn't have anybody. There was no like, okay, there's him and then this other guy. No, there was only him, and that's it. There was nobody else. But then we ended up getting this other guy. He had a really strong arm. But man, he would walk a lot of guys. I mean, he would walk the world. I mean, he was kind of like one of those guys who'll strike out 5 but walk 5. You know what I'm saying? Like it was kind of like on that level. So we kind of like had to remain on our wits. Kind of had, you know, he had to kind of learn how to throw something that was going to be low in the zone and try to get a double play ball or something. But it was hard to try to maintain a pitcher, you know. And for me, I think I've always been kind of a closing type pitcher because I don't know, like after 1 inning of work, it's when the shit hit the fan for me. Like I'll go ahead and get 3 outs, but then when I go out there the next time, that's when the wheels fall off and people start getting hits off of you and stuff. But you know what? In a sense, it makes sense because you know, you got a guy that's throwing harder than you and everything, and then when you show up and then you're throwing a lot slower, and obviously at that moment they're kind of adjusting because now they got to dial it down. Now they went from 80 something, now they got to face you who's throwing 70 something, and so now they got to recalibrate their eyesight, their bat speed and everything, and their timing. And then when they get it down pat and they know what you got and they got the timing down, then that's when, you know, it's open season after that. All right, there's people on. Is there 2 outs? Okay, there's already 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, they're not too far away from making a
this guy looked like he was about, I guess, to pitch a complete game, but I guess they scored something.
Off the plate,
do I not have a section to throw the ball in?
Runners at the corners,
okay,
2 men out.
Wing it, I guess.
And this is fouled back and out of play.
All right.
And now a pitch lined into right field. He
this
comes through.
bad.
It's a base hit.
All right, another run comes in to score. Not my fault. I think my ERA is still at 0.
Marcus Efting will dig in now, and he'll do so representing the tying run. And meanwhile, this pitch gets away from him. And this is low, but it's corralled quickly. And both
my first position,
hang on.
I mentioned it before, probably in my other Road to Show series,
and this will be a
was catcher. Then I was moved from catcher into the outfield. No, actually, no, I was at first base for a while. Then people have, you know, kind of got used to the whole concept of having a left-handed, you know, first baseman that's better, you know. Not just left-handed batting, I mean like a, you know, left-handed glove. It's just a better,
well, you always hope to get a good outing from your starting
better
pitcher,
transfer, better tag, reflex, you know.
This one, he's our top player of the game.
Because if you think about it, me being a right-hander, if there's a pick-off throw, I got to reach across my body in order to kind of get the tag.
He was instrumental in leading his guys to the victory.
So if you have a left-hander over there, you know, obviously if the glove is on the right hand, then you can just, you know, whip it over there. It's a faster, you know, faster millisecond to kind of get the tag down and pick off the runners and stuff. And then you kind of have, let me see, in case there's a ground ball to first, when you get to the ball, you kind of just, all you have to do is just look to the right and just throw the ball straight over there to kind of get that first out. And if there's enough time for the first baseman to get back to first for the double play, then you can. In terms of a right-handed first baseman, they'll field the ball and then they kind of have to re-step and then throw the second. And then by that time, you're most likely maybe going to get that one out, and then, you know, there's a 50-50 chance for the throw back to first is going to be either an out or the person's going to be safe. So, I mean, it is logical to have a left-handed first base glove over there, you know. All right. I like the way they have these whole these little surveys, Orioles.
Is on now.
You kind of have these little kind of
down here in the ninth.
fun facts in the bottom of the screen and stuff.
Wyatt McClory will stand in to lead things off here in what's now a
Oh God, I won't be talking all the time.
And he gets a piece of it here.
Most likely they're just going to be episodes with nothingness said.
Swinging a ball hit hard on the ground at first.
You know,
and he'll take this to the bag himself.
during these times where
Up by 2 here in the ninth, he needed to make sure he could keep that leadoff man off base, so
doesn't
he
hurt to
don't get the tying run
talk
to play.
a little bit.
That's a huge first out.
DJ Schmoll comes on with one gone here as he looks at a called strike one. On a swing, and he popped him up off to the left in foul territory. And that's going to land foul.
In a little bit, in case these hiccups don't go away.
Tried to get him to go after one below the knees, but it's 1-2.
On 0-2, if that's a curveball, a changeup, a sinker, then maybe you get a guy to chase. But it's much easier to lay off a pitch down there when it's a straight fastball.
They're not calling for location. When it does that, I don't even try to aim the ball anywhere. Oh, come on, man.
And he will recover.
All right, good recovery.
To get it over to first. Nicely
I don't have time for that.
The second out.
Well, in most cases, once he kicks this thing, it's going to be a sure error. But luckily for him, he's got a diesel tanker headed down the first baseline. So he's able to gather this thing up and still get the out at first.
Kevin Batista stands in as he checks his swing here for strike one. And this will be a called strike two. In trouble now.
I'm so glad he didn't swing at that. That looked very home runnable right there.
And this one's hit on the ground, but foul.
No, look at my statistics. I think I have 0 ERA. I don't think I've allowed anybody to score. I mean, obviously the runs that are already
he struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over.
Enthusiastic home crowd.
A handful of fine individual performances to choose from in this one, boys. But what do you say we go ahead?
I think it's good to try to approach this from a closing row because, in case they want to use my bat, you know, or something along the lines of that, then great. Let me see something here. Where do I go? Oh, well, back pitching rotation. Here we go. This is where we go. So, wait. Why can't I? Oh, these are major league. All right. Yep. I haven't allowed anybody to score. 9 games pitched, 10 strikeouts, 7.2 innings of work, 8 saves, 4 hits allowed. If this was a complete game, or at least one performance and 7.2 innings of work, I would be working on a complete game shutout. Only 4 hits allowed, batting average 148. Oh, okay, 154 to a right-hander, 143 to left-hander batter. So I have allowed a hit to both sides of the plate. I have not allowed them to score. That's good. 11. No, man, look at that. My strikeout per 9 innings seems to be 11 at this point. 30,000, Jesus Christ. Player salary. Damn. I noticed that there's no thing here indicating whatchamacallit, arbitration. Does that mean I actually have means to go to another team if I want to? Cool. Alright. Good to know. Alright, here we go. Let me go back to the screen here. Damn, I gotta handle this right now. Alright, let's continue. Damn, there's quite a few games there that I didn't pitch in. and 11, and Tulsa's 13 and 12, about to fall to 500 baseball. Probably going to be the last outing, and then I'll go into the next episode.
Jesse Padilla is on now to try to close things down here in the ninth.
And I'm going to go ahead and try to, depending on my appearances and stuff, like how I physically appear in the games, is usually how I looked back when I was 18. Like right now, I think my character is 18. So this is how I looked when I was 18.
Saul Roberts will get another shot now. 2 for 3 in the game.
They're not showing me location. I'm just throwing blindly up there.
Here's a swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt.
And they're swinging blindly up there.
For as bad as he missed that pitch, you can bet we're going to see that again before this at-bat's over.
And this is going to be a foul ball.
I considered of picking the Cubs as the team I wanted to be drafted to, but I like doing the randoms, you know, makes it more, I don't know, just makes it more cooler that way, I guess.
Swinging a ball hit on the ground.
Kind of like doing it randomly, and then, you know, when the time comes, you kind of have to, you know, go ahead and do the free agency and see who you're going to sign with and everything.
Managed to fight this one off as it's fouled
you know,
away.
You kind of hope that the Cubs are going to sign you on the game and stuff, but in case they're not, then
swing and a miss, and that'll get a groan from the home supporters here. 1 away.
Well, this is what you want out of your closer. Comes in firing darts, and it's a very quick out number 1.
Freddie Dorta will stand in, needing to do something here to get on base as they're down to their final 2 outs. And he gets ahead here with the fastball, strike 1.
I'm surprised he's still throwing that hard, considering I haven't even messed with the velocity.
Too bad for him, because that thing
I thought the velocity would start to drop or something, and then
And that's swung on and
if they do give me the option though to switch to starting pitcher, it would be kind of interesting. My goal, as strange as it is, my goal is actually to have 300 saves.
Well, you get a good sense of his value to this ball club watching this. 2 hitters,
that
2
would
strikeouts, and now they're
crazy
out away
insane.
from wrapping this thing up.
Nobody has probably ever done that before in their life. That's got kind of having.
Robert Fitzgerald.
Well, I think it's kind of equivalent.
He looks
No,
at a
not
call
really
strike
equivalent
one.
because somebody's already at a 500. It's kind of like having 600 homers and 600 stolen
strike
bases.
2 is now they're down to their final strike this
It's kind of on that
and it's tough enough to hit 95
rarity.
plus mile-an-hour fastballs. That
That
curve
was
gives
not
you
a
something
curveball.
else to
What the hell
think
was
about
that?
altogether.
Throw on to first, and the ball game is over.
And you know what? I
That's
don't
a
care
red
who
ball,
you're
but
playing. You know, it's
not a
never
curveball.
easy to go out on the road and win any
Another
game.
save
So that was a great
for the
effort
big
by
man.
them in every phase of the game.
Big little
Before
man.
we take our leave, time for a look at our final line
Little
score
big
here in
man
what turned
coming
out
in
to
to
be
get
a
the
close
save.
2-run victory. And boys, probably a handful of deserving candidates for our top player of the game award. But what do you
The
say
hell,
we
they
go
gave me the
ahead
player
and
of
give
the
it to
game?
the
Are you
man who
serious?
shut the door out of the pen?
Yeah, it's nice to have someone like this that you can call
That
on.
strikeout
and
was
finish
so
things
good
out
that
for
we
you.
got to
He
give
came
him
on,
something.
slammed the door shut.
So that'll just about do it. For Eric Harrow, Steve Lyons, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Valskirchen. This has been a presentation of MLB The Show. For more,
Alright,
don't
so
forget
that's
to
gonna
check
be it
out
for this episode. I'm gonna go ahead
theshowNation.com.
and,
The Travelers come out
on
on
to the
top,
next one.
5
I'm
to
probably
3.
going to charge my
So long, everybody.
headphones because it does operate on batteries and it's not connected to anything. So I'm going to go ahead, charge them up, and that's it. Peace.